All right. Let's see who's here. Who's here? Pam. All right. We got Pam so far in the chat. Pam, can you hear me? I never know if this stuff is working or not. Hello from PA. All right, let's see, guys. Can anybody? Yep. Okay, good. So, well, Pam, it looks like you're the only one here. Oh, there we go. We're starting to see people. Nice. We got people showing up. That's good. That's good. Edwin, Mike, Moxie Bot. Sorry, I messed that up. Ben, Mark. All right. So we got people showing up. That's good. I like that. So we're gonna do the draw, but before we do the draw, we're gonna be bringing in Fidget Boy himself, because that kind of sort of on brand. It's on theme. I'm giving away a custom one of a kind Star Guardian blue, and we figured since it's a Fidget Boy product, why not bring Jason in? And he's got some stuff to talk about. He's got some new products he wants to tell you guys about. So this is, by the way, before we do that, just want to tell you, this is, I checked with Jason, this is all N52s. This is a monster cruncher. This is for people that love strong magnets and also love one-of-a-kind fidgets. So again, after Jason does his stuff, we're going to go through a whole bunch of things with him. Then Jason's going to go, and then we're going to do the draw. We're going to pick 3 winners. So it'll be the first person, so like the main winner, and then they'll have 12 hours to respond. Again, I realized doing the live doesn't really work. Wasn't a good idea. So we're gonna go with we're gonna draw, and then you've got 12 hours to answer. Then I'm gonna pick 2 alternates at the same time. So after the first 12 hours, if the first person doesn't respond, then I go to the next, and then I go to the last one after that. Now I'm also going to potentially try, if somebody out there wants to do this, is after we do the draw, if somebody wants to come in, if you've got your camera going and you got a mic, maybe come in and we'll have a bit of a chat. We'll chat about fidgets, and we'll see where it goes. Hopefully it doesn't get too crazy. So you guys can prepare for that. Again, if you do have a camera, if you do have a mic. And without further ado, we will bring in Jason from Fidget Boy.
Hey, gang. You didn't say it, so I'm stealing it in this moment.
Hey, gang?
Yeah, man. It's pretty excellent that I got to steal that. If only I had a jean jacket. I'm going to get one eventually. I appreciate everyone showing up, and then I kind of sprung this on Sean. I do want to put it out there that I kind of self-invited and checked with him, of course, because I thought this would be good. I have a lot of things going on, and I think that I owe you guys an update on what's going on, where I'm at, what I'm doing. But I think you're going to be excited with a handful of things I have to share with you today. So this will be good. So nonetheless, I appreciate it, Sean, letting me come on here with you and share what I have going on. So update number 1, Full Metal Boo Boo Boys. I should get the first batch in tomorrow. I was expecting them today. Thought this was going to be amazing to be like, here they are, in this chat or in this live stream. I should have the first batch tomorrow. The thing about it, of course, just like anything, yes, they'll be limited in quantities. I don't want to discuss that right now. I apologize. But ultimately, our goal is to kind of probably hit between a 30 and 40 mark a month of how many that we're kind of looking to produce and release. Everything again is going to be done with a sus. So we refer to it that way just because Facebook can hit you with a hammer for saying the word lotto, and that's the reason that it's not referred to that. But my intentions are, if everything goes to plan, get them tomorrow, we will have our first sus for the official Metal Boo Boo Boys this upcoming week. So that's really exciting.
So does that mean you're going to have them in hand this week?
I will have them in hand tomorrow.
So after the sus, you should be able to ship them out.
That's correct. And and that will be the plan, is after the drawing. And this is a moving target for me to start running suses and figuring out how all this works, and me individually doing them versus doing an Etsy. I want to avoid running all that through Etsy and just deal with the metals myself. I have a lot more control over it that way. And but nonetheless, I'm super excited. I had some changes that I wanted made, and those changes should be in the mail tomorrow. When I get them, they should have already been made. So but yeah, nonetheless, sus definitely happening this week. Not sure how long I'll keep it open. Price range is probably going to be anywhere between 200 to 220. What else did I have? Oh yeah,
pretty much in line with all, like,
yeah. And that's, again, we're trying to be as competitive as possible within the space. I get that, I'm the new guy to the game for metal. At the same time, this is 100% American made by a veteran, to put that in context too, which I know, some people really do appreciate both those facts. And I myself am one of those guys where I really enjoy the fact that, I'm getting to work directly with John Beal. He's an incredibly talented machinist and woodworker. I mean, the guy's just, I can't thank him enough for all the hard work he's been putting in to help me, achieve this dream of mine to be able to do this. But metal prices are high, and it's kind of like a week to week. I feel like they adjust where the price goes up and whatever else. But with that, I'm going to ship everything insured. It'll be all priority. I should have gotten those ready. I apologize. I have really cool packaging for them as well. I'm sorry. Oh yeah. I have one. I just don't have anything in it, but I can go on and share the packaging. So the packaging, they will come in a case like this. And why it looks kind of weird is because the fidget itself goes inside there, and it houses it, and
like a display.
Yeah, so you can display it. Sorry, I'm trying to do this.
They've got they usually have like a push button. Yeah.
And so like it has that clear film, and it packs really nicely, tight, and everything.
Kind of be like this.
Yeah, that's exactly spot on. Minus they don't come with a base; they'll be in their packaging. Trying to think of other things. We did some of the comments mentioned before. We were originally going to do them with a very unique screw, and we were going to include that tool. We've now switched that out. We'll be using torque screws in them. Even trying to kind of find some of that is a bit difficult. So I kind of want to bring up the fact, and it's something I'm going to post in the sus, that as we work on these, there could be changes along the way. Like I'm going to just be completely transparent up front with everyone, just like even my own products, where we might find a new way to do something. We might figure out, some better thing where we could chamfer something different, where we could decrease or increase weight, whatever it might be. So I do want to be very clear about those sort of things, that, we could have these little tweaks that we make at some point along the way. And that's one of the things right now that we're also kind of shooting for. Is there's a couple pieces of machinery that John wants, for himself, of course, for different projects he has, but it's also very beneficial for the Fidget Boy brand and some of the ideas and different things that I want to do that would allow us to do that. So again, I'm not saying it's suddenly going to be night and day. I'm not going to release anything that I think anyone would ever be disappointed by. That's not my style. It's not a cash grab ever. But I always want to be as transparent as possible about what I have going on, what you're buying, and how this is all going to work. So
So what do you say to, because this is also the first time I've heard the price too. And I mean, most people in here know that you and I are friends, but I mean, friends in different countries. So it's not like we hang out. But I am curious. So what do you say to people that are very used to the Fidget Boy brand being a certain price, right? So up until now, you've had all of these customers who love what you do. The ones that do, obviously, the ones that love what you do, really love what you do. And they are used to paying like a 40 or a 50, depending what it is, right? Like there's always typically like that range. And so you're going to have, you are going to have people that are going to go, holy shit, I'm used to Fidget Boy stuff being like, 1-0
right.
at the end of it, kind of thing. And so again, this is just the world of metal sliders, right? Like, this is just what happens when you get into that. So I'm just curious, like what is the difference, and why such a big price jump from what they're used to, which is the 3D printed stuff, to metal?
So it's multi-part. I started out with this, and I think a lot of people want to. I can't imagine coming into this and just shooting for metal out of the gate. Like I really can't, after all the things I've learned along the way, and taking Fidget Boy from the brand of July last year to this year. I mean, it's just monumental movements. But I loved coming in and being someone that could offer something so affordable and something that I think is a superb quality product. I honestly believe you're getting what you pay for, and how much effort I put in, and what you receive, the product itself, how it feels, and all of that. And that's been amazing to be able to do that. Both, for me, I'm very humbled by all this support that I get from everyone, and it's crazy every time I do a drop to just have that outpouring like that. But it's still where you want more for yourself, you want more for your brand. So for me to have something where I'm at both ends of the bell curve, if you will, it's like, here's a very affordable option that works extremely well, it's extremely well made, and then to top that off with going all the way into metal and being able to offer something that I get everyone can afford it, and I wish they could. It's just kind of the nature of the beast once you start getting into milling, machining, and metal, and just all the costs that are asserted there. But with that being said, I think that that's a good leeway to introduce some other things that I have going on. I have started to, it's actually a conversation I had a while back with a gentleman, Raymond at Rage 3D, if everyone who's familiar. He had been telling me about metal filaments. He's been doing a lot with them. I've seen a lot of his work and other people he's working with and printing and everything, and I've been just kind of holding back from entering that territory. And part of the reason was exactly to your question of, I thought it would be cool to kind of be able to split that middle ground between, here's very affordable, here's that high end, and here's something in between. And it provides, with metal filament, it provides kind of a middle ground. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of best of both worlds, but I mean, each world's very different, I guess. So I've begun printing with metal. The metal filaments, typically like 60% metal that's in them, but the example being, don't know if it's gonna do it.
Well, I mean, these webcams are so amazing.
So this one is a stainless steel. It is a huge difference in like the weight. As soon as I printed one, I was kind of in disbelief myself of the weight change. Printed in copper, and I've been testing printing different ones, feeling out what they feel like weight wise and everything.
So this is metal infused filament.
It's a combination, and it's kind of interesting because like the percentages actually move around quite a bit even after printing what the total like the total numbers are of metal to PLA ratios. But I did write some numbers down for kind of just approximations, if you will, of what I've printed. These won't be the final numbers, they'll vary, but I mean, even if we're talking about 1 gram versus 2 gram, that it's negligible. So example being, sorry, looking at notes, printed steel, it's stainless steel in a boo-boo. Right now, this is 42.5 grams. Just pulling a random PLA one I did is about 22.6. So, I mean, you're increasing by 20 grams, essentially. Fidget Boy copper that I printed, it's at 42.5 grams, same sort of thing, versus, regular PLA on that was, I think it was roughly around, 20 grams, 19, 20 grams. So, you're getting a substantial amount of weight. With all that being said, it's, as I say, middle ground. My middle ground is not going to be $100 middle ground. I think I'll be able to offer these still at a very affordable price. I'm looking at like the 50 to 55. It's just this filament cost a lot more. It requires hardened steel nozzle and all that. It just beats up the machines, kind of like everyone being hardcore on in the dark. It was like I had to repair my machine all the time because of that stuff. Just beats them up. But yeah, I want to still be very, very cost centric for the consumer on these. For me, I'm very much a quantitative, in making what I make from selling these, and meaning, I'd rather sell more and more people be able to have them and get them in the hands than sell high and, wow, 2 people have them. That's just kind of where my mind is. And even with the metal, I'm very hopeful that we can turn out the numbers of, people that want them, they're able to get them. So I held off on doing the print for metal for this exact reason, because I hate the disappointment that I think a lot of people are going to feel when, not winning is sus. I get it. I've done and been in this for years. I think you probably see my name all the time in them. I've won one in my life for a knife, and that's like the only thing I've ever won. And so I just kind of, I don't know. I get it's fun and different, but for me, it was a kind of a way of kind of facilitating something where I think you're getting not necessarily more for your money, but more weight, and it is a completely different feel because of that weight associated with it. I've particularly been carrying the stainless steel one around a lot, and it's pretty crazy how much you can just around the world the thing like it's nothing now, because it has enough weight on the end to pull itself around. And for me, it's all of my products I use N52 magnets in the corners. There's basically nothing I offer that doesn't. And because of that, they're easy to grab onto each other. And at lightweights, they'll immediately grab, but with a more weight on it, it's 50% increase almost. It can do some tricks that the other ones can much easier.
So I mean, obviously, this is not the first 3D printed slider to use metal filaments in them.
Sure. Not at all.
And that's kind of, but I see that as becoming kind of the and I don't want to call it a trend, but almost like this is the evolution almost, right? And with technology, like you and I mean, since like day one that we first started talking, you've talked about the desire to want to do that at some point and to start sort of incorporating that into what you do. So is this kind of just the natural evolution of 3D printed sliders for people, that the majority are going to slowly become metal infused prints versus PLA?
I honestly don't think so. I think that I'll be very curious once everyone starts getting these in hand, what their thoughts are, because each of them has such a different feel. Even, with my own products of the different products I offer, I try to make sure there's still some variation of difference in the way it feels and plays. And I think that that's still true, even with pure PLA versus something that has infused metal. And for me, where I'm really, really curious of testing is, I'm kind of spilling beans for other people to do this as well, but I don't think the top plate matters as much when you do a two-piece. I think it's honestly that just that bottom plate of having that sheer weight there. So I will probably do a mix match where I'm not only doing a full, quote unquote metal, if you will, of these, but I'll probably incorporate PLA top so we can still get colors and everything in there, because I think that just that weight shift to the bottom, which I have some control over as far as, the infill of the body itself, I control those numbers, and I think I can get enough weight on it that you still get the feel you're really looking for, but with a top that's still excuse me, still very much, fidget boy, if you will.
So that's interesting. Actually, I didn't even realize that. So metal filaments can't be color then. They take on the color of the metal.
Yeah, I have not seen any yet that are not, basically literally their color. The thing I also have not tried is you can, there's different treatments and different things you can do to them to make them shiny and make them, this looks like a metallic slider. And once I try some of that, I'll release that information of here's what I did, here's my test, and do what you want. You can do it yourself. I'll be honest, again, I'm a one-man team, so I don't have the time to put in to try to do all of that, but I'm happy to facilitate whatever I figure out. But going back to your overarching question, I really don't think that it's hey, this is as much the next big thing and we're all going to do this as it is new things coming out. And I think there's a handful of makers right now that kind of lead this charge of being the early adopters of those things. And, again, for me, I want to give credit where credit's due. The first person that did tell me about it was Raymond. I sat on a spool of, stainless steel for months now, never even testing it just because, again, just not my waters yet. But
sorry, and just for people who don't know, so Raymond is Rage 3D, right?
That's correct.
Yeah,
correct.
From the Tron side. Okay.
So, and I know he's doing his thing. He's been doing things for other makers, and and utilizing. I think we're using two different brands right now because I was even kind of talking with him a little bit the other day about things. And but at the end of the day, I see a use for it. I see value in it. I see why there's enjoyment. And for those that have been using, you know, other maker stuff, I understand why you like it of, you know, this weight. So, you know, I'm excited to get them out there for Fidget Boy, of course. But yeah,
Well,
I mean,
I love the fact that you guys are like makers are talking to each other and sharing experience and progress and stuff. Cause then as for the users, we get the best of everything, right? Like,
but I mean, like a material is like, there's no theft in a material.
yeah,
you know, like the material is a material. Like, okay, so like no one else make a metal slider, no one else make a PLA, no one make a resin. I mean, like that'd be ludicrous. So I mean, it's just kind of like, why not share happenings or whatever you have going on, anyways, in that world? I mean, that's kind of
absolutely
silly. So I have another. I have a list of other things. I mean, we can continue. I could talk about this for hours if you want.
All right. Well, let's move down your list.
All right.
What else do you have on your list?
Another fun thing, I do have a resin printer on the way. I'm excited about it. I've never used a resin printer. I've honestly never even been around a resin printer. But I've been talking with Jamie of Lick. You know, he's a big resin guy. Him and I are going to, you know, talk about it, and he's going to help walk me through a lot of things. I have a lot of ideas there in my head of some different things. I am working on a spinner. I am working on a metal spinner. And I think that there's value there in the resin world as well for me to kind of incorporate that into that as well. Not sure how much I'll do with sliders yet, but I just have different ideas that, you know, for me, it's all about kind of cranking out what I can crank out that I have in my head, see if it's something good and, you know, that I want to share with the world. And, you know, I get really excited. I mean, that's even today of being able to share these, you know, printed metals. It's exciting for me. It's new for me. And so yeah.
Sorry, just to mention, here's an interesting question. Serial was asking, does a resin print mean a more silent slider?
There's actually, like, the funny thing about silence, like, at least in my opinion, is the design of the base of it matters. Very literal, like the bottom plate, that design matters. Next biggest thing that matters is the strength of those magnets. That's really the big determining factor. You weaken the magnets, you'll get a quieter slider. You want strong magnets, you're not going to get a quiet slider no matter what. Even on, you know, the push up, you're always going to get that down when you have strong magnets. So I'm not, you know, negating that maybe resin is. I'll be curious during my test of, you know, what I come up with. There's, you know, there's nothing that's not ever requested of, you know, I want silent, I want weak, I want strong, I want heavy, I want light, I want, you know, like the list is endless in my world. And I try to do my best to a fault, I think, as we've seen.
Well, we saw your journey with perfecting a plate.
Oh man, I really bummed out we're not still discussing that. But you know, like I don't have an answer because I have not been in that world. But for me, at least in my experience with PLA, those are the reasons that, you know, change the manipulation of sound, feel is, you know, really vested in those particular areas. You know, if I did a more raised plate on the bottom, I could quiet down. There's less surface area. But everything comes at a trade-off of something else. I mean, that's my best way to always explain any of this. There's always a trade-off somewhere when you want to do something, like, and that's what's nice in the world of 3D, unlike what John goes through for me dealing with metal, is I can just, you know, print something, just like a single one of these in a matter of, you know, an hour or two, and it's good to go. Whereas, you know, in his world, it's like, cool, man, I just spent, you know, 24 hours working on this thing.
Well, and just to clarify, John is the guy, the metal guy, right?
John Beal.
He's the one doing the metal for you.
Yeah, we're going to put that notice in there too, not to reach out to John trying to snag things on the side. That will not please me. So other things. Okay, next thing. Doing a sus right now, my first sus for one of the, or two of these, which are my Fidget Boy heads, that little storage head. I thought these are hilarious. Like, this all actually started because I wanted to create a Fidget Boy bead. So that's another thing with the resin printer. And like, so I have my little head and I thought it was hilarious. And then I had a number of guys like, and especially in like knife world and stuff where, you know, guys that are into beads and stuff, and even girls, you know, were into beads, where I thought it would be fun to just do the Fidget Boy head. Here's another color that I just got done with. I haven't listed any of this yet for these. Another cool thing, which I think we all know JB at Everything Glow is going to be all about it, but I've been working on little teeny tiny ones.
Oh, that's cool.
So like glow in the dark and, you know, the UV sort of thing. But
Jay's not in the chat right now. He'd be all over that.
He will be all over. Like
Jay,
he's obsessed with glow. But I thought it was hilarious, like because they reside just like, it's hard for you guys to see, but it's just like one half of a boo-boo that like the little head sits on. It's easier to see on the giant one. So it's like exactly a boo-boo boy, and it's sitting on top of that, which I don't know. Just something like awesome, fun and different. I get there's no like, wow, there's some, you know, there's no inherent value in this tiny little Fidget Boy guy, but they're fun, and I thought maybe other people might like them. So I'll make a handful of them and you know, pump some of those out for everyone. And then the bead thing I'll end up doing at some point. NES remote. Yes, I'm going to do an NES remote. I had a lot of that when I released Level Up Boy. The reason I went with Level Up Boy first, doing SNES, is just because it was just a really unique slider, really unique shape, something different. I didn't want to also piggyback off Brian Walsh. Right now he's doing the Wes Clicker, if you're familiar with Brian. If not, Walsh Metalworks, go join his group. Excellent guy and very, very talented. He also produces the Click Tendo. You know, I'm kind of giving some maker shout outs right now, but Brian's a really, really good guy, super, super talented. And him and I, you know, are both in that kind of retro world. So it's cool to, you know, pick his brain and also share what I have going on with him. So I have PLAs, plastics on the way to print those. And what else do we have? Okay, I am planning on working on a modular. My modular will be different than the other modulars out there, at least with what I have in my head. I've started a little bit of work on it, but it's something that I've been asked for months, so it's just time to just do it. So I'll come up with a new design. No clue what that timeline is going to be, as you know, as I just said, with all these other things I have going on. I just kind of, for now, my head is wrapped around printing metal, figuring out combinations of it, the actual metal that are coming in for the boo-boos, figuring that out, running these susses. You know, it's just, there's a lot going on for me. And, but I'm excited, guys. And like, I really, really can't thank everyone enough for everything. I do everything I can, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, no, let me show you. Because this was in a question. This is how big I made him.
Almost life size.
Almost life size. This took 20 hours to print this.
Jesus.
Worth it. Yeah. Magnets, every metal order, including even these metal orders, I'm going to include Fidget Boy magnets in. Add magnets printed that, you know.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, like the fridge magnet, or the, I mean, not even fridge magnet, just
no,
magnet.
It's nothing major, but I mean, it's still just, I thought it was something cool and kind of fun to go along with them. So yeah, but I just said a lot of stuff, and I don't know how long it's been. I've been talking for 30 minutes. Thanks for listening to me.
Oh, that's fine, man. I mean, I think people want to know, right? Especially they're showing up for this. So who else to talk about it, right? Like this is very on brand. And then, you know, secret, but new one's coming out soon.
New one is coming. New one is coming. Ordered stickers for it, so we play that waiting game. And then, as I mentioned before, man, those things are an undertaking because I have to like hand pour the resin for all of them, make sure the bubbles are out, dry them, all that. Like,
so that is just to let people know, not what it is, but that the new exclusive GamerBoy, sorry, the new exclusive GamerBoy has been designed and the new labels are done, and that's actually sent off, and that'll be ready to go soon, which is awesome because it's the only way I get to sort of leave any kind of a fingerprint on the fidget world is being able to do that. And to be clear to people too, like you and I are not in business together. This is not like I don't see anything from these. These are just fun to do, and I get one because it's awesome.
Sure.
But other than that, I love just doing it. And so if anybody's ever, Corey's asking for a sneak peek. If anybody's ever asking or thinking, when I review your stuff or when you come on here and stuff, we are not in business together. I don't see any, and I'm not saying that like from a, from a whining point of view, I don't see anything from these. So I just design the labels because they're fun. And I love the world of it. I love just having it out there and saying like, I did that.
Yeah. But I mean, like couple it with, I mean, it was one of those things when when I originally showed you the project and you and I started discussing and everything, like it's something like that also is so helpful for me, like design time and stuff. And you taking that and doing it and spending your time, like can't thank you enough for, taking that on, because the plate is full of fidget boy heads. I have an army of these little guys behind me. It's very funny.
It's just fun to do, right? Like it's just one of those things, like you said, like you don't have time to obsess about what it should look like or what it should, like the theme or the whatever, like all that shit. But I enjoy doing it. So yeah, it's fun. It's
I could show everyone the next level up boy while we're here if we want it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do it. All right.
Yeah.
We're going full fidget boy colors.
Ooh, sweet.
Yeah.
You know what? Somebody posted in the group how they didn't realize how small these were. And it's true. It was, I thought for whatever reason, when I saw the pictures, I just thought they were like normal size, but they're not. They're just like a fidget size.
And I saw Joe Francis's sassy posts about my tiny hands. So now my feelings are hurt. How big's my hand now, Joe? But yeah, I mean, like, I posted a photo even of relative size, like compared to a Boo Boo Boy. But I mean, nonetheless, I mean, I still get it. Just till you get something in hand, it always can be surprising when you get it and just like, well, that's tiny. But for me, I felt like this was like the perfect middle ground size. I get, a lot of people that have larger hands. I think across the board for fidgets, they kind of struggle because most of them are made really for medium or, hands, if you will. So
yeah, I've got like smaller hands.
Yeah. Excuse us, Joe. I can answer any questions. Otherwise, I'll go on ahead and get out of here so you guys can do the gall. And again, I really, really cannot thank everyone enough for everything you do for me. And I really, really, really appreciate it.
There was one question a little bit back, which was from Pam L, and I'll put that one up again. Is, are you only doing drops on Facebook?
Yes, for the full metal. Okay, so these the metal print. I am gonna this is still gonna run through Etsy. I'll still release those, drop date, drop time. Those will go through Etsy. For the full metal edition, you will have to be a member of the private group. And yes, I will only be dropping those in that group under a sus in which, I will run the lotto and then you'll directly pay me. I'll get all your information, ship it from there. And, I'm kind of happy that I'm not getting inundated with like, hey man, like here's 40 of these things. I mean, the number's under 10. I'll put it that way. The number's under 10 that's going to come out next week. But it's also like, I need to figure out how all this works and ramp it up and make it make sense to where it's not just chaos. Things can quickly become chaos.
So Matthew, asking any timeline on the metal infused sliders?
My goal's next week. To drop them. I have one full set of Boo Boos in stainless, completely printed. Ran out of filament, and then I started working. I've been testing the different ones and trying to figure out what I want to do and how I want to do it. But yes, I will release some of these infused next week, as well as run the first sauce next week.
Okay, wow, that's awesome. Lots of stuff, lots of new fidget boy stuff. So it's exciting. And I don't know if there are any more questions. I don't see any more. Does anybody want to get one last one in?
Also, when I'm talking, I'm looking everywhere. I'm also thinking, so I know it might look crazy. Sometimes, like after the video last time, I was like, "Yeah, where am I looking?" But it's just like I'm thinking so much, my head's going everywhere, just because I want to like not miss all these thoughts. It's like what I have going on.
Well, you didn't even really have much warning that you were coming on here, anyways. So
no, this was kind of like I'm going to throw a bunch of notes together so I can tell something. But again, like I really like the USPS said it was going to arrive today. Then suddenly this morning it said tomorrow. So that's why it was like, oh, like yesterday when I reached out, again, this was all thrown together for me coming on here. I was like, Sean, metal's going to be here tomorrow. And then this morning it wasn't. So then it was like, man, I'm going to make notes of other things I can tell people about essentially.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's awesome. All right. Well, dude, we'll let you get back to your family and your Friday evening. But obviously, thank you so much for coming on. Oh, wait, Jeremy's squeaking in one quick one here. Any plans exhibiting at a Blade Show event?
Oh, no, that'd be interesting. I mean, like, I think as you know, Jeremy, like, I mean, I know a lot of guys in the knife world, inclusive of a lot of makers, a lot of the guys that run groups. It's, was very involved there. And, I think there's a couple different people, those who know me well know that there's a couple different people that, do modifications and stuff like that, that maybe there's some potential there for me to go with them and kind of do something together. I don't know. I haven't really like thought about shows or anything like that, but I mean, it is a good idea. I mean, especially as much as I've kind of broken into that space. So we'll put it as a maybe one day.
Okay. Good. All right, dude. Well, this has been awesome. Thanks for coming on. And I'm sure we'll see everybody on Facebook tomorrow. So
yeah. Thanks again, guys. Thank you.
All right, dude.
Sean. Thank you, brother.
Anytime.
All right.
All right. So that was cool. That was a lot of stuff. I actually I do plan on, if I am going to do other giveaways, I would like to actually bring the makers on of whatever it is we're drawing. So I think it'd be kind of cool. It gives you guys a chance to ask the maker stuff. And I don't know if everyone thinks that's a good idea. I've got a couple other things I'm going to be giving away coming up. We'll do this again, and I'll see if I can get the makers to come on. So let's get to what everyone was waiting for, which is the giveaway. And let's hope I don't screw this up. So I am going to share my screen. Look at that face. Oh, what a face. I made sure to pick a really stupid thumbnail for the face. So what I did, and remember that I said in the video, the cutoff was going to be Thursday night at midnight. So we have up to 72 people that have gone in with the code word, I guess we'll call it. And the only thing I did change is initially I had said that you have to be watching the live stream. And I realized that would actually have the potential to turn into a bit of a boring nightmare for everybody, because currently there are 33 people watching, but there's 72 draws. So if I picked somebody who wasn't here like 10 times, you guys would be sitting through this forever. So I did switch it back in the end to, we'll just draw. And like I said, the winner has 12 hours to respond. Now, the thing is, I've done a couple of giveaways. Jason has done giveaways. Lots of people have done giveaways. And the reality is a lot of people say I'm in, and then they disappear and they never claim the prize. And that's super annoying for those of us that are kind of putting in the effort to give something away, which is why I wanted to do only people watching. But I realize it's not really realistic. So I'm going to shut up. Let's just go straight to it. So we are going down. So you can see at the very bottom, I always sort by newest comments first. And I made it to, this was our last comment they came in just under the wire last night. And so again, we ended up at 72. So I am going with the number picker wheel. I know at one point there was some issues with people commenting on certain random number generators are rigged. I have no idea. I also don't care. This is the one I'm picking because it's a spinning wheel and I think it's cool and I think it's fun. So we have from 1 to 72. And that's it. Everybody ready? Oh, now, before everybody takes off the end of this, because trust me, I get it. If your number doesn't win, a lot of people just go, well, screw it, I'm out. Like I said, if, depending on who it was, if somebody wanted to pop in and chat for a little bit, that might be kind of fun too. So let's see how that goes. I know part of it, though, is you have to have a webcam and a mic. All right. If everybody's ready, this is it. This is the draw. This is the draw for the one-of-a-kind GamerBoy Blue Star Guardian. Here we go. Woo, spinning. Spinning, spinning. Where does it land? 60. Who is 60? It would be so awesome if 60 was watching the stream. Let's see here. Alfonso. Is Alfonso in the stream right now? No? Okay, so here's what we're going to do, though. Currently, 60 is the winner, but I'm going to draw 2 more. And then, oh, look at that. Look at those numbers drop off right away. I'm going to draw 2 more as backups. So that was 60. Now we're going to do the second number. $47. So let's see who 47 is. Come on. So 47 is ETEDC. And let's go for that third one. This is backup number 2. You'd be surprised how many people don't claim a win. 9. Wow. Early. An OG contestant. 3. Neverett 9612. Okay. So we've got our 3 winners again, and I'm going to go back to, let's see, where was our... Okay, so I have commented. I need you, the winner, to reply to my comment and then send me an email at thefidgetfix@gmail.com. And again, I will pay for shipping within North America. I think that's fair. Anything outside of that, we can discuss it. I mean, it also depends. Like shipping costs a lot of times are actually surprisingly low sometimes to Europe, depending on how we ship it. So does anybody have any questions for me? I get it. If you guys are all here for the draw and just want to go, my feelings won't be hurt too much. I'll be fine. But if anybody wanted to have a little chat, if anybody wants to jump on, let me know. And if not, then even if you don't want to jump on, if there are any questions for me, let me know now. And if not, we'll probably end the link now so that you guys can go off and enjoy your Friday night. I have a whole bunch of reviews coming up if anybody wants to know what those are going to be. what's Jason's Facebook? Ben, Jason's Facebook is just there's a Fidget Boy Facebook group. So we can actually. Oh, well, to request the private, he just means you have to be inside the Facebook group. So you just have to be in the Fidget Boy Facebook group. It won't be on Etsy. So I can actually show people if they are at all curious. Oh yeah, and Jason is still here. So what do I have coming up? I actually recorded some reviews today, and first one is the Brotherhood of Blades. So the Brotherhood of Blades is this is like a fidget slider. It's mechanical. There's a mechanical insert for it and a magnetic insert, and then this little ratchet accessory on it. I don't really know what this little bead is on the top. It's certainly not a window breaker or glass breaker. I don't think so. But anyways, so I recorded this actually today. I did the review on this one, or at least the intro. So this is kind of interesting. This is like, this thing is crazy. Let me get the name right. This is the Monkey Mind. This is the smallest slider I have ever used. And in fact, it's like the size of my thumb. This is an addition, this little ring. Hey, Jeremy, thanks. I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying the behind the scenes. For anybody that doesn't know, I started a membership thing because YouTube was like, hey, you're at the point where you can start a membership channel. And I was like, well, we'll try it. And I made the price as low, like as made sense. It's like a couple bucks. And all of my reviews I do, every single review now, I also record a behind the scenes of it. And so I post that to the members channel. And then I talk to you while I'm recording. And so you get to see all of my many screw ups. A lot of times it takes a lot longer than what comes out, obviously, in the edited version. And I just kind of talk about the process and stuff. And so I think that's kind of interesting for people. I've also got, I'm actually going to be doing a giveaway of something just to members only. So there is benefit to it and also just supports. But I mean, I get it. If you guys don't or can't or not interested, no problem. But again, so this slider is crazy. And it actually comes with this ring that you insert into it. And then you wear, you wear it around your neck. So anyways, this guy is surprisingly fun. I actually have been really liking it. A lot more than I thought I would. Got a new Korean top for the fortune cookie. This thing, and again, I'm not going to give away too much because this is going to be in a review at some point. This is a really worthwhile upgrade. Got a Beetle Crash. Did not think I would like this at all. Really like it. And I snagged one of the last steel brass time capsule beads. So that's some of the stuff that I've got coming up. So let me see here. Sorry, I was just noticing some of the comments here. So Andrew's asking, is there a PI ratchet for the PI Brotherhood fidget? I'm not sure. I didn't see one on G1, but I mean, you know what? Why don't we go look here? You know what? Let's do this together. And let's go to G1. I'm saying G1 because in this case, they're the ones that sent me, the monkey. I keep forgetting the name, the Monkey Mind. G1. There we go. So we are looking for the Brotherhood. I don't remember seeing a PEI ratchet accessory. So the accessory here seems to only be, no, it's only metal. So only for the metal one. Sorry, dude. I hope you can also do review the monkey fidget applied on the Sky Tower. So this goes, so Andrew, are you saying this goes onto the Sky Tower? Because if that's the case, I was not aware of that. I don't like some of the stuff they send me. I've like, you know, for most reviewers, you know, myself, anybody who really gets kind of sponsored things, you don't typically know what you're getting. They just send you stuff, and so sometimes it's you know, kind of like lower end things, and sometimes it's higher end things, and it depends on the sponsor and stuff too. I typically, the two main ones, other than, I mean, I get obviously Fidget Boy, you know, Jason sends me graciously a ton of stuff to review. And then I've had a lot of luck with newer makers lately. And I mean, the last one being the Tron, which was really cool. And Ray is great. And I want to have him on as well, because I might actually give away a Tron. I was thinking actually that one that I reviewed, I might do that as the next giveaway, because why not, right? Why not pass it around, share some of the love? So anyway, all that to say, though, I've like some great support with a lot of kind of like one person team. I mean, I call them indie. They're not really indie, but you know what I mean? Like people who are sort of doing it for themselves. They're not a huge company. But then with the sponsors, I have the two main ones. I have G1 and Big White EDC, and so they're kind enough to send me stuff quite a bit. G1 sends me a ton of stuff, which is why you see it on my channel all the time. It must look like I work for them. I don't. They send it, but what they send to me, they send to all the reviewers. So you know, a lot of times you'd probably see Osman reviewing the same stuff, Mel reviewing the same stuff, you know, like a ton of people. Like anyways, I don't even know who else. But yeah, all that to say, you'll see a lot of us reviewing the same things because we all get sent the same stuff. So I'm a little different too. I like to I typically record my unboxings and put them in a short because I don't want to put that into the review. I'd rather unbox it, spend some time with it, play with it, get used to it, and then do a review. Oh, that's awesome. So Fidget Duck is saying that he can give away some of his wooden sliders for a giveaway. You know what? So the Fidget Duck slider, by the way, this is kind of like my prized case of, like, you know, the stuff that I kind of use the most of. And Fidget Duck is in there. So his wooden sliders are and now actually, funny enough, Fidget Duck lives like a half an hour from me. So I was able to go out and I think when you saw me review them, I was even if you saw the review on this stuff, I went out to a shop, and these are so cool and so fun. These wooden, very organic sliders are awesome. So if you're giving stuff away, dude, I will absolutely do a giveaway on here because they're fantastic. I love these things. And what I love is that they're not perfect and they're not meant to be perfect. They just feel great. Jeremy, talking about my case. You know what? This case, every time it's time to cut out new parts on a case, it's such a headache because you're always worried about, well, do I do sliders here? Do I do coins? Do I do, like, you know, what am I putting in here? I even had like a case for like a knuckle or like a knuckle bone. This crazy thing, like the crossbones, which I am selling, by the way. There's some of the stuff in here that I'm going to be selling, But yeah, anyways, the case, every time there's a new case, you know, you've always got to cut all the pieces out. And then you're like, how do I put this tiny thing, like these tiny little things in the case while still keeping room for like the massive ones? You know, like, but I also, I don't keep, as you can see, I don't keep a lot of fidgets. Like I only keep a small amount, and then I typically I sell or I trade, because frankly, that's the only way I can keep doing this, is for one, relying on the generosity of sponsors, but also then things that I get sent to me, I give them away. Like there's certain things I give away. Like I don't feel right selling things that are given to me to review by smaller makers. But if it's something from like G1 or Big White EDC, they know they're selling me stuff, or they're sending me stuff that I can then just sell. So a lot of times I will just sell that, and then I keep my collection really small, because I mean, I'm only really playing with a couple of things at a time. I tried maintaining a huge collection one time, and that didn't work out well at all. So I just got rid of it. So yeah, cutting out a case is a huge nightmare. In fact, I keep a container with all of the foam cuts, so then I can stuff them back into holes if I need to like fill pieces in or fill holes in after the fact. I've even got parts in here that I've re-glued to put them back in. So yeah, I mean, I don't even think any of you guys even asked about that. I just started talking. I just started rambling on because that's what I'm doing now. Any other questions? Anybody have any questions for me? If not, it's fine. It's no problem. I'm here. I think if we're good. And again, if anybody knows any other makers, if you want to do a giveaway, I need a jean jacket. Dude, I grew up with a jean jacket. I love jean jackets. I do. And they're a great place to put your pins, all of your rock pins, you know, like I had tons of pins as a kid, guitar pins. Matthew asking, what's my daily carry? Honestly, my daily carry is whatever I'm going to review next. So when somebody sends me something, it doesn't matter what it is, that is my daily carry for at least 2 or 3 days before I review it. So I have the ones I come back to. Like I have my main ones that I kind of fall back on. You know, and again, they all come out of this case. So sometimes it's literally like I'll pull out like you know, the GamerBoy, the Star Guardian, because I love it. I will pull out you know, this guy is like this is so unique that the Chenyu Guardian, it's just cool. I think I go in between with between mechanical and like magnetic. So again, yeah, I'm sorry to disappoint in terms of, I know some people kind of you know, they always want to know like what's your favorite. I have sort of the favorites, but in a lot of cases I don't have as much time to use them, because I am trying to spend time with whatever I'm going to review next. And I feel like for myself, at least, that's kind of what I owe the person that sent me the product, is to spend time with it and to really get to know it. Because I've had so many fidgets where I've tried it and just went, this is shit. Like, this is not good at all. And then sat with it. And after a couple of days, I actually started to really like it. And I started to really figure out how to use it in a way that I hadn't really realized when I first opened it. And I think that's actually really important. So yeah, again, that just means I don't typically use a lot of daily drivers. Although actually, you know what? One of the things though, I also keep this little, let's see if I don't dump it. I will say, so while I have my case, this is my current reach dish. I kind of call it the reach dish. So I do keep some things in here as well. Because I had been reviewing the Tron recently, that's in here. The Chet key from Around Square is this thing I walk with all the time. This is kind of like my mall fidget, because it's kind of quiet. I don't know. Yeah, it's a check key, Matthew. I'm terrible at it, but it is awesome. I really enjoy it. The pop throwing card, the 2024 pop throwing card, I really, really like this. This is like a temporary lanyard. I have not been a lanyard bead guy, but lately I've been getting things that can hold lanyards and beads. So I actually ordered one off of Etsy, which is kind of cool. And this ridiculous thing that I have actually really started to like. Once I dialed in the right balls and springs, this stupid dolphin is it's good. It's the fins are still a little crazy on it. I'm not sure about the fins, but the ergonomics of the curve on this thing is really, really nice. And once you dial in and like once I use this separate plate, I'm probably gonna do I'm gonna do like a return to the dolphin at one point to talk about which plate I ended up with, but that's like a one pal. And it feels like the one pal. Like this is actually really, really kind of good. So anyways, those are on my, again, like I said, I just kind of keep like a wooden dish of the things I reach for randomly and in the moment. So those are yeah, I know the dolphin was weird. Somebody was asking, oh yeah, doing cutouts is what kept me from buying a case. Still hoping to find something that has slots. Yeah, Ben, I get it. I agree. And when I cut parts out of my case, like I said, I actually keep everything I cut out. I'm not going to bore you with it, but I keep them in a Tupperware container. So then if I'm filling in holes, I end up like, I don't even know if I can show you this without everything dumping. Probably not a good idea. But I had in here, I had one huge fidget going across this space. And instead, when I switched it back out, I put foam back in and I glued it back into place. So I just used the crazy glue and then I got my 2 slots back. So I've learned that I find it better to cut and then keep. And then that way I can just sort of fill in the holes, or I can, if I get a shorter one, I can actually stuff it into the bottom. So then it lets it rise back up. I don't throw the stuff out. Theme song's been going all week in the car. Jeremy, that's awesome, dude. And I think I've kind of blabbed about this before. And I think at one point, if people are actually curious enough, I was considering doing a live stream where I go through the 2 albums that I made like 3 albums, but 2 of them are 80s movie soundtrack based. And so that song is one of the songs from my album. And I created these 2, like I wrote these movie outlines, but 80s movies. So they're meant to sound kind of stupid. And so I wrote the scenes for it and I kind of broke down this one movie. And then I wrote songs for the scenes and then hired actors and stuff to do the dialogue in between. And then I did a second album. And that's where the song you're hearing came from. In fact, the first album is right there in the frame on the wall. So and I'm only saying this, if anybody ever cares about the music at all, I can actually, I'll post the link at some point. It is, it's just sort of like my old artist link, which was Computronic. And then you can just kind of hear the albums if you want. But I was thinking of doing a just kind of a live stream to talk about the albums. And I'm not sure if people would actually care or not. So that's why I'm still sort of on the fence. But, you know, maybe if enough people say they'd be interested, I would definitely be down for it. Here's the link, by the way, because why not, right? I don't know if that works. But again, if anybody's into kind of like fun, stupid 80s music, there are stories in there. There are actors. It's all 80s. And then I've got a third album on there, which is more like a sci-fi kind of Isaac Asimov type thing. But yeah, so anytime you hear that song, it's from my album. And it's actually the chase scene. You don't hear the dialogue at the beginning. Sorry, how's one become a member? I think if you just go to the YouTube channel, there's a link to join, and then you just hit join, and then it charges you, I think, like $3 a month or something. And then, you know, you can keep doing it, or you can say, dude, this sucks, and then you pull it back. This is, I'll just show you something here if anybody cares. But I always find this stuff kind of fun. So if we go into the album for a second, here's the part you guys don't hear. This is the intro of it. So I apologize if this is too loud. This is actually this is a friend of mine, Mike Orvis was the singer on this. British guy, amazing voice.
All right, guys, where are we going?
To Radio Shack on Oak Avenue. There's an extra 20 in it for you if you can get us there without the guys in the black car seeing us.
Well, you want to lose those guys? Those government guys? Yeah, well, that I can do. I'm not a big fan of the government. It's a long story. I don't want to get into it. Just go. Just buckle up.
And then it just starts into... And this is supposed to be like the big chase scene. Yeah, that's the Apple. Yeah, so my albums are on Apple Music as well, Jeremy. So yeah, they're on Spotify, Apple, and whatever. I go through DistroKid, so it gets sent out to all the like the streaming channels. And I used to sell them off of what the hell was it? Oh my god, I even forget. Anyways, I got the link. The link is under all of my videos. If anybody ever cares about buying an album like to get the digital files, the link is there. But again, you can just listen to it streaming everywhere. But it was fun. I write all the music. I wrote all the lyrics except for a couple of songs. So I produce everything, and then I would just hire in actors to do the dialogue in the beginning. I would do all the album covers and stuff, all the album art, and just sort of do everything. And I tried to create like a bit of a John Hughes sort of connected, the way he connects Shermer, where different movies are people from the same town. I would try to do that with these two albums. And it was fun. Like my kids would sing on, or not sing on it, but like would act on it. So this is like my daughter. Sorry if I'm boring you guys. Please ask another question. I'll be happy to move on. It's just kind of fun sharing this with people. But this is where like the main character of this story, he's down and out.
Just the batteries.
That's my daughter.
Oh my god, you're Tommy Scores. I have a poster of you on my wall. What are you doing working here?
Actually, I've worked here for years. Video games were just a hobby.
So that's why you were so good. Working around with these electronics must have really helped. So are you going to compete in the tournament next year?
I'm done with all that. I realized there was so much more to life than just video games, you know?
Well, I still think you're pretty awesome.
Thanks, kid.
And then it just starts into, this is actually Becca Starr, who's a Scottish singer. She's amazing. Anyways, but these little video game sounds
Pretty awesome.
that I had going in the back are actually all, let's stop presenting. They're all these. So I just threw batteries into all these and started recording the sounds from them to add into the song. So that was That was fun. So yeah, I mean, check out the albums if anybody who likes 80s music, I do, clearly. I mean, look at me, look at the place. So it's all just 80s stuff. So were there any other fidget related questions? Andrew was asking, I hope you can review more of track sliders at Pivot. You're right. There really aren't many of them. Although, I mean, the Guardian is that, right? It's literally that. It's track slider that pivots. Not the same way that, not the same way. Like I know like the tower ones and, a bunch of the other ones, like the rabbit and all that, the MOT stuff, the rhythm. I haven't tried those yet. And I mean, frankly, it's just, they're expensive, right? Like, again, it's tough to come up with content all the time. So I just don't have the money to drop on that stuff. I would love to. I do get people asking me, hey, can you review this next or this one? And if I had the disposable income, I absolutely would. The Lord, sorry, dude, I'm trying to remember everything. Lord O Ice O Wind. Did the winner get picked yet? Yes, the winner was picked. It was 60. That was the winner. And then the backups are 47 and 9. So yeah, again, I don't always get to, I don't typically get to pick what I'm going to bring in. Although again, sometimes if I'm selling stuff, then I have my eyes on something else. So I am looking at, there's like the mother of pearl, rabbit and certain things, but I have to sell stuff first. So if I do sell things, and at some point I'll probably, I might look at something like that, because a couple people have asked me if I would review one of those. So that would be on the list. I got to tell you, the one thing I miss the most, and I don't know how many of you people have ever tried them, but damn it, I regret selling my pig slider so badly. My very first fidget, like good fidget I bought, was the poker pig slider. And at the time, I just didn't know that much about fidgets, and I didn't like that the balls could kind of fly out if you weren't careful with it. But man, I see that thing now and I'm just like, like when you kind of want to go back to some of the first things you owned, that's something that I've debated, and it's weird because it's nostalgia only from a year ago, but I feel heavy nostalgia towards the pig slider. Like I would actually really kind of enjoy having that again. So that's something I've been sort of eyeing. So I think that's it for the questions, unless anybody else has anything. I love that you guys are hanging out. I love that you're hanging out with me. I wish we could all just sort of talk. Every time I think, oh yeah, fidget duck, pig nose slider rocks. I know it's an amazing slider. There's just something about the sound and the shape of it that is so nice. But of course, as everything, now that they start to fidget dude, I could possibly ship you some of my fidgets for you to review if you're interested. I would absolutely be interested. It just depends on where you're shipping from, right? We kind of run into, I'm in Canada. So the one issue is that sometimes like it's just figuring out how to ship them. Customs can be absolute pricks when it comes to shipping. But I would absolutely love, if anybody wants to send me stuff to review, that would be fantastic. Again, knowing though you're shipping to Canada, I get it. It's not the easiest thing. When you guys in the States, man, you can just pass to everybody. It's like $5 to send stuff. Mel's always like, hey, Kyle sent me like 400 fidgets to review. And it's like, I wish I was living in the States just for that. So yeah, I mean, I like, send me an email or reach out to me on Facebook. Like, I mean, I'm just, it's just my name on Facebook. I think most of you probably know who I am. So send me a PM. And also I'm looking at doing another fidget chat soon, like a group chat. So for people that are interested in coming on, those are always a lot of fun. It's just kind of cool. Like, I think, what did we work out to last time? 5 guests plus myself. So 6 people is like the ideal amount. Anything over that gets a little hard for me to try to moderate. But they're a lot of fun. So I think we should do another one of those. So I always like going with sort of enthusiasts and members in the community, I feel like then that's, then we all have great conversations and stuff. So anyways, that's next on the list. I think it's due as a fidget chat. So if there isn't anything else, we're all hanging out. I might kind of let you guys go. Oh, there is one other thing. One thing that I'm going to talk about in here quickly. At one point, I sent, I put out a post asking people to send me experiences if you had any challenges or accessibility issues or stuff with fidgeting. So I was really curious about that. And I am setting up an interview with a neuroscientist. And I'm going to be talking to him at this point right now. It's him about what it is that makes us want to use fidgets, why we get a rush out of clicks, zips, mechanicals, magnets, spins, all that stuff. I'm fascinated by it. I do it myself. Like I can't articulate why I love clicking things so much. But I want to know what's happening in the brain, why we do it. I also want to know why some people have actually messaged me saying that it helps with their Tourette's or it helps with their, their ADHD and stuff. And I know we can all just say, well, clicking on something absolutely just gives you something else for your brain to focus on. But I want to know the chemical reason behind it. I want to know what it is in our brain, how it affects our brain, and why we just like it so much and why some people really like it versus other people are kind of more casual about it. And is there a connection? Is there actually like a chemical reason why some people just don't care about fidgets? Like you hand one person a fidget, like if I hand, whatever, the dolphin. If I hand the dolphin to somebody and they do this, some people are like, yeah, like I get that. That feels really cool. And then like my wife will take it and go, it's a dolphin, and just do this and go, yeah, it's nice. And then she'll just hand it back to me. So, I want to know, is there a reason behind it? And why is my wife crazy for not liking fidgets? Just don't tell my wife I said that. Okay, guys. Well, again, if there's anything else, but if not, then I guess we'll kind of wrap it up. Like I said, few things on the horizon. And seriously, everybody, thanks so much for coming out. I love it. I wouldn't care if there's only one of you. I would still feel amazing that even one of you came out just to watch and to hang out, giving up your Friday night. So everybody, thanks so much for showing up, gang. Thanks for giving me your Friday night. It's awesome. And I will be doing more of these giveaways, and then we can talk more, more music and more whatever 80s stuff. You want to talk about a movie? We'll talk about that. Listen, I got shit to talk about. All right, gang. Thanks so much for watching.